British tycoon Nick Candy, the husband of Neighbours and pop star Holly Valance, is to submit a £2.5 billion bid to buy Chelsea this week, with the property developer and boyhood blues fan including plans to refurbish or rebuild Stamford Bridge for £1.5 billion. But there is still a concern with this. There is still a worry with this. It's the consortium approach. Will the consortium approach actually guarantee the sustainability of succession that Roman Abramovich wants? I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Leave your comments below. Smash that like button. Let's do this. Now, the British property developer Nick Candy is working on a £2.5 billion bid. He is talking to a number of American investors to form a consortium. The reason he needs that consortium is because he's some way short. Even the bid that he's looking to submit is about £500 million short of the £3 billion asking price that Roman Abramovich wants. Yes, he supported the club from being a boyhood fan, so he want the best. But these types of bids come with an air of trepidation. These types of bids have some issues. Now, Nick Candy is worth about 1.1 billion, estimated. He doesn't have enough personal funds to buy Chelsea. He will look to raise the money via investors. This isn't in itself a negative. This is quite normal. Most people, when they're buying businesses, when they're buying organizations, when they're looking to develop, there's a 1.5 billion pound development attached to this of Stamford Bridge, will look for investors. Use other people's money rather than your own is a sensible methodology within the world of business. The problem that you face, and Chelsea fans have to wise up to this, if all these other multimillionaires and billionaires from America are going to give Nick Candy money, what do they want in return? What do they want in return is, for me, the big question. We know Roman Abramovich is out there doing his absolute best to ensure the new owner, have a viable plan and funds to ensure Chelsea remains successful. But of course, Roman can't guarantee this. He doesn't want his legacy to be damaged. He doesn't want to have his legacy undone. Of course he doesn't. Why would he? We've seen a number of American owners, now the LA Dodgers partner, looking to join in with a bid for Chelsea. Another American billionaire makes first Chelsea bid and awaits Roman's decision. We're seeing a lot of this, and there's all types of billionaires involved. But so far, very little of what I've seen has been an individual looking to give £3 billion essentially to Roman and be the sole owner and be willing to pump tens of millions of pounds of their own money into Chelsea. Now, for rivals, there is an element here of licking your lips. There is an element here of getting excited that Chelsea could regress slightly. And I'll tell you as to why. Chelsea Football Club will lose between 20 and 30 million pounds a year of income from loans from Roman instantly. They will also be losing anywhere between 10 to 20, maybe even as high as 30 million in some years over the next 2 to 3 years because of the new rules surrounding the loan element of players. Clubs can't loan out tens and tens and tens and dozens of players anymore and reap the rewards of the fees of these players. 2 million here, 5 million there, all the salaries being paid. Chelsea's model's got to change. So as of this summer, Chelsea are anywhere from 20 to 50 million pounds a summer down, estimated. They need to have that recouped. Are these consortiums not only willing to pay £3 billion to buy the club, spend £1.5 billion developing new stadiums, but also in the short term, continue to pump the money into the club Roman was willing to do so they're able to buy when they want, renew contracts when they want, and maybe continue the model of getting rid of managers that are not making the cut and making the grade. Are they able to move them on and bring new people in? That remains to be seen. Now, we also know that again, more consortium style of work. We also know that Conor McGregor said he's not joking about the Chelsea FC deal. A football franchise purchase is in my future. But listen to the words of McGregor there. I know he spends a lot of time in America. He's done a lot of business in the States. But a football franchise purchase. Does that sound like what Chelsea fans want and what Chelsea Football Club need? a franchise purchase. This again sounds, we know it is with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor's worth a lot of money. It's not quite been reported to this extent, but there are massive reports that he sold his shares of Proper 12 for around $700 million. He's probably worth, in my estimations, with everything he owns, cash, stocks, shares, everything, probably half a billion. He ain't buying Chelsea Football Club without investors. And I go back to the question again, and I want an answer on this, people. What do the investors want in return? I cannot see them. There has to be a return on their investments, whether it's directly from Chelsea Football Club or a percentage of the profits in the future. Maybe it's being able to market their brands for free or for reduced prices. Maybe it's using Chelsea in the Premier League as a way to push their products, essentially free advertising in many, many ways. Maybe it's a return and a sharing of endorsements and sponsorship deals. So they might be a member of the consortium. You know, maybe Conor McGregor's like, well, I'll own Chelsea, but Proper 12 is the shirt sponsor. You get my point here, right? There are these, because he still owns shares. As an example, I'm just throwing that out there. What do they want in return? Conor McGregor has been very open publicly that he is exploring it. They're looking into this. But as I've said all along, there is something about the business model that many of these bidders are looking at that's slightly disconcerting. Even with the Saudi media group, I saw so many comments yesterday from people saying, oh, great, we're going to get Saudi money. We're going to be okay. Saudi media looking to buy into Chelsea. There is no indication that they are going to do what Newcastle's owners are proposing they will. They seem more of a business consortium looking to make money rather than a consortium designed to allow the prince to just own the football club. I'm not saying the consortium that bought Newcastle is a proxy, but I feel like there's an element of that in there. It's like, we have to set it up this way so we can buy it, but essentially this man is funding it and running it. When you cut through all the guff, maybe that's going to happen in this circumstance as well. Who knows? But there's no indication of that right now. And I think this is a time for Chelsea fans to, of course, not panic. I've said that all along, but start to wise up and realize that you are going to get a new owner. Of course you are. There have been over 10 official bids into Roman Abramovich already. There will be a time period for Roman Abramovich as well to get this done. He'll want to get this through. He wants somebody with a viable plan. But telling Roman you've got a viable plan and delivering against it are two very, very different things. When the Earn family sold Leyton Orient, they were promised in meetings, they were promised that not only were they going to sustain what Eddie's father, Barry Earn, had done with Leyton Orient over a 20-year period, but he was going to be pumping in millions of pounds to essentially try and make them a Premier League or Champions League team one day. And in the very early stages, he did. He was taking championship players and paying them huge championship wages in League One. And Leyton Orient looked like they were going to progress. But he got bored very quickly and absolutely torpedoed the football club out of the Football League. And it took a number of years to get them back, and they're still only in League One. And remember, they were 45 minutes away from joining the Championship. Do I think that's going to happen with Chelsea? No. But you have to remember what some of these consortiums are like, especially the American ones. And I mean this with respect. FSG have done a very, very good job at Liverpool. There is no doubt about it. But they don't spend and behave like Chelsea Football Club do, in my opinion. So Chelsea fans have got to temper themselves. If it goes well with one of these consortiums, it will be more the FSG model. But there are more examples of these consortiums that are full of American money, going more the Hicks and Gillette, the Kroenke, and the Glazers way. Now, Arsenal fans will tell you that since Josh Kroenke's come in, things are improving and getting better. But we don't know the proof of that pudding until we see the results. We have no idea where that will end, where it will stop, and where it's going to go. One thing is for sure. Chelsea Football Club is going to change. One thing for sure is Chelsea Football Club is going to be run differently. Because so far, as far as we can see, there is not a single buyer that looks willing and ready to buy Chelsea in a way that's going to match what Roman was doing. Roman is once in a lifetime, in my opinion. Roman is A Roman is few and far between. If you actually go across all the owners of football clubs around the major European leagues, there are loads of billionaires, loads of multimillionaires, loads of consortiums that own football clubs. How many have been as successful as Chelsea and behave like Chelsea in the last 20 years? That's the question I want to propose to you all today. Nick Candy, big bid coming in, huge American investors, going to try and develop Stamford Bridge. He is a Chelsea fan, though, since the age of 4, which could very much help. But I want your views. I want your opinions. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. Who do you want? Nick Candy, Conor McGregor, Saudi media? Let me know below, and we'll speak to you all soon. Thank you.